Hello, my name is Emily, and I'm here today with nationally recognized authority and trust clause litigation, Dan Dalton. So Dan, you have talked to us about the importance of securing the local vote. Many local churches are concerned about the annual conference vote. What should they do?
Well, just like we talked about with the local vote, where you have to treat it like a political campaign, you should really think about the annual conference vote the same way. Remember that the annual conference is split up of one laity and one clergy, primarily for each church, unless you have larger churches where there's more clergy and there's more laity. But treat this as a campaign to convince those folks at the annual conference voters how they should vote in allowing you to go. They should know your particular circumstances and allow you to give you that opportunity before the annual conference to set forth your position, either by email or by social media or by YouTube videos or calls or meetings or whatever the case may be. Why do I say this? Well, you can't assume that there's going to be good faith on the other side, that the annual conference is going to allow in the board of trustees are going to be neutral in this matter. In Arkansas, we found out that was absolutely not true. From what we've learned so far in Arkansas is that there was a collaborative effort between the local and statewide group at the annual conference against the churches who wanted to leave, and that was really unfortunate. So you have to think like the annual conference would think, and by doing that is you have to do the work. You have to do that legwork to make sure that you have the votes before you leave. Get that at least, I know it's 50% in most conferences, but at least get 60%, just because people are going to fall away. So that might be contacting 300 or 400 people prior to the annual conference vote. Let them know what your story is and ask for your vote, and give them an opportunity to contact you and ask questions. Again, this is very much like a political campaign, just like the local church vote. Explain to people what your position are. Affirm what they say their decision is going to be. Reaffirm it prior to the vote, and when they're there, make sure that it's reaffirmed again prior to the annual conference vote to let you go. Again, don't assume good faith on the annual conference. It doesn't exist. This is not a fair process. This is not an equitable process. This is not a just process. The annual conference's position is to make sure that you stay within the annual conference. They're not going to do anything to help you out. In fact, they're going to do things to make sure that the vote goes against you. Know that going into that, so you can take those steps prior to make sure that you have that vote from the annual conference delegates before the actual annual conference in June of 2023, or if there's one later in the year.
Dan, what can a local church expect at the annual conference?
Well, it depends on your annual conference. I mean, some annual conferences have block voting, which will have a whole list of churches where they'll say these are the 10 churches or 100 churches, whatever the case may be, that have gone through and they've satisfied the requirements that we set forth for disaffiliation. So please approve them, and it's an up or down vote. In most cases, it's all voted up and down, and the churches are let go. In other conferences, it's a church by church vote where it goes before the annual conference to vote on those matters. In Arkansas, for example, it was supposed to be block voting, but on the date of the vote, they changed it so that churches only 90% and higher of approval at the local level was a block vote. They were let go. Anything below 90% was church by church. And really what it's clear now is the annual conference knew where the state groups had the votes to deny 3 local churches to leave. So that's why they did that, as opposed to allowing a block vote to occur. So again, don't expect this to be fair. Don't expect them to be equitable, just, or right. They're not. It's not in their interest to let you go. So prepare yourself, do your organizing, reach out to annual conference delegates, make sure you can affirm and reaffirm their vote prior to their vote so that you can leave.
Thank you for your insight, Dan. If your church is interested in hiring our firm to help you through the process, please reach out to our office at 313-859-6000 or email us today. Thank you.